Ronaldo broke down in tears. He was so afraid he couldn't even watch the penalty shootout, instead bowing his head and leaning on Diogo Dalot's shoulder. A Ronaldo once unshakable under the pressure at the Bernabéu or Camp Nou now trembled like a boy playing the last match of his life. But this time, those tears did not taste of bitterness, they were the tears of a champion. Portugal didn't just beat Spain with their nerves of steel in the shootout, they showed that their golden era no longer revolves around one individual but has evolved into a collective that knows how to endure and rise again. This victory marked Portugal's second UEFA Nations League title and served as a declaration they are ready for the next conquest. If you found this content compelling, engaging and valuable, don't hesitate to hit subscribe because even more exciting things lie ahead. There was no need to wait long for the 2025 Nations League final to stir up a storm of emotions. From the opening minutes, both Spain and Portugal entered the pitch with the determination of men who knew there might not be another chance. Spain struck first, capitalizing on a swift, clinical counter-attack. Lamine Yamal's run down the right was followed by a deft ball into the box that threw the Portuguese defense into disarray. Martin Zubimendi arrived at just the right moment to slot it past Diogo Costa. But just 5 minutes later, it was the reigning Champions League winner, Nuno Mendes, who responded. Receiving the ball from Neto, he burst past the defender and unleashed a left-footed strike into the top corner, leveling the score at 1-1. It was his first goal for the national team. The drama didn't stop there. Mikel Oyarzabal restored Spain's lead with a smart run between Portugal's centre-back and full-back, latching onto Pedri's through ball and calmly finishing past Diogo Costa. The move showcased the growing maturity and class of the Real Sociedad striker, who is gradually taking over from captain Morata as Spain's number 9. By the 61st minute, Ronaldo had yet to register a single shot. Whispers began, would Roberto Martinez dare to take him off? But in a script we've seen for the past 2 decades, just as the doubts began, Ronaldo answered. Once again, it was Nuno Mendes, blazing down the flank. He beat Yamal, delivered across that deflected off Lenormand and soared to the far post. In came Ronaldo like a familiar flash of red, volleying the equalizer to make it 2-2. A vital goal, his 138th for the national team, a record that perhaps only he could break. As the final minutes ticked away, both sides slowed the tempo, paving the way for extra time and Rafael Leao's explosive entrance. The AC Milan winger terrorized Spain's right flank, creating at least 3 moments of pure danger, but the deadlock remained. The match went to penalties, where destiny favors the fearless. Portugal stepped up first, Ramos, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes and Nuno Mendes all converted. Spain responded with 3 accurate strikes of their own. But on the 4th, as Morata stood over the ball, Diogo Costa stared him down, ice cold. Luck deserted the Spanish captain. The Porto goalkeeper guessed correctly and pushed the ball away to a roar from Portugal's half of the stadium. In the decisive 5th kick, Ruben Neves made no mistake, sealing a 5-3 shootout victory and handing Portugal their second UEFA Nations League title. Not Cristiano Ronaldo, not Bruno Fernandes, not Rafael Leao, the best player in the Nations League final was Nuno Mendes. It's hard to believe a fullback could dominate so completely. But Mendes didn't just own the left flank, he controlled the tempo and emotion of the entire match. When Portugal's attack struggled against Spain's pressing, it was Mendes who broke the deadlock, sprinting past Oscar Mingueza and unleashing a top corner strike that left Unai Simon helpless. The build-up to Ronaldo's equalizer was even more impressive. From what seemed like a routine situation, Mendes burst forward so unexpectedly that Yamal could only stand and watch. His low cross deflected off Lenormand, technically not an assist, but crucial nonetheless. And it wasn't just in attack. Mendes also delivered a near-perfect defensive performance. He kept Lamine Yamal, Spain's 17-year-old prodigy, completely in check. Every time Yamal tried to dribble or maneuver, Mendes was faster, stronger, and always one step ahead. At times, it felt like Yamal wasn't even on the pitch, such was Mendes's dominance. No wonder the Athletic's Tim Spiers posed the question. Is there a better left-back than Mendes right now? A question that hardly needs an answer. Under Fernando Santos, Mendes was once seen as wasteful and inefficient. But under Roberto Martinez, he has evolved into the blueprint for a modern fullback, both a defensive wall and a tactical catalyst. When a defender has the same impact as a number 10, you know you're witnessing something special. In a final filled with standout names, Mendes was the leading figure. If someone unlocked this Portuguese victory, it was undoubtedly Nuno Mendes. This match was a perfect example of how football can change everything in an instant, and no one understands that better than Cristiano Ronaldo. For over an hour, he was a shadow on the pitch. Slow runs, misplaced passes, no shots on target, clearly out of sync with the team. His furrowed brow and pleading glances at the referee suggested a man being left behind. A legend fading from the game. Commentators and social media alike began asking, will Martinez dare to sub off Ronaldo? But then, in a flash, all doubts were silenced. A seemingly innocuous cross became a decisive moment. Ronaldo's subtle movement, his perfectly timed run, and a powerful volley left Unai Simon helpless. No one scores goals like Ronaldo. And no one invites as much doubt, only to silence it so emphatically. That was goal number 138 for his country, an unmatched record. Yet on this night, that number was more than a stat. It was a quiet reminder, I'm still here. And when the match needs an ending, I'll be the one to write it. After the goal, Ronaldo didn't celebrate with his signature "Seu." Instead, he calmly retrieved the ball, placed it on the center spot, and was substituted in the 88th minute due to injury. This wasn't the brash CR7 of his prime. It was a Ronaldo who's learned to share the spotlight, a quiet leader, willing to step back for the next generation to shine, while still retaining the authority to change a game. But the most unforgettable moment wasn't the goal, it was when the shootout began. The cameras found Ronaldo, head bowed, leaning on Dalot's shoulder, unable to watch. A man who's won Champions Leagues, the Euros, and countless finals, now looked vulnerable. And it was that vulnerability, that silence, that made the victory after Diogo Costa's save so much more explosive. Ronaldo wept, held his head in his hands. Then joined the celebratory circle with the next generation he knows will carry on the journey. He was once the star, and now he's the living memory. And that memory still knows how to speak at the perfect moment. In a tournament where Cristiano Ronaldo was still a spark but no longer the focal point of every attack, Portugal showed they are entering a new era, one where anyone can shine. And victories no longer hinge on the miracle of one man. The architect of this cohesion, despite ongoing debates, is coach Roberto Martinez. After a heavily criticized Euro 2024 campaign, marked by a lack of identity, poor showings against top teams, and underused squad depth, Martinez responded not with words, but actions. The turnaround didn't come from a revolutionary tactic, but from well-timed adjustments. When João Neves struggled on the right, he was replaced at half-time. When the midfield needed a push, it was repositioned. Martinez didn't drop Ronaldo like Fernando Santos once did, but he didn't build the team around him either. He gave Ronaldo the right role, the finisher, the inspiration, but not the centerpiece. Meanwhile, he empowered players like Mendes, Vitinha, and Neves to grow freely and express themselves in a system built on mutual support. Gone are the days when Portugal lived and died by the whims of one superstar. They're no longer a drifting side in the post-Euro 2016 haze. This is a team that knows who they are, how they want to play, and, most crucially, how to win when the pressure is at its highest. This Nations League trophy isn't just another accolade. It's proof of a generational transition. It's a statement that Portugal have built an ideal national team model, with experienced leaders, rising stars, depth, personality, and a clear identity. Portugal have won the UEFA Nations League. But more importantly, they're ready for the World Cup. And this time, they're not coming just to dream, but to conquer what has always eluded them.